think this is how it's going to go. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. I'm just trying to figure this out. We're going to try to start a little bit, give some people some time. So we'll probably start about 5:05, 5:10, something like that. Um, since I have time, there's a free little, update on the farm. We just switched over to Orphic, or one of the tanks on Orphic. These things do get pretty expensive, so not the whole farm yet. Um, Welcome in, everyone. We are going to start in about 5 to 10 minutes. Give everyone a little bit of a chance to join in, because we are starting with the $1 auctions first. Hey, Lion King, how's it going? Welcome in. I think I like these lights a little better. Everything seems a lot more brighter. The OG is definitely kind of getting bright out. Hey, Omar, how's it going? The OG is getting a little too bright now with the lens. Everything's still colored up. Nothing too much, just getting ready to cut up some colonies. We got the little frag rack over there and everything. If you're just joining us, we are going to start in about 5 to 10 minutes, just to give everyone a little bit of a chance to join in before we start off with the $1 auctions, and give me some time for the tank water level to go down. But yeah, welcome in. Everything's doing good. How about you guys? The other frags I was mentioning in the last live, I think it was like Friday. Those guys are healing up pretty cool. So these ones are doing good. Oh geez, we are actually waiting on these two little babies, or not, I guess kind of babies, to heal up. I think I have to take off one of the orange filters. These guys are a little too bright right now. You kind of see them over there. King Kongs or Godzillas, unfortunately, we can't keep those. I don't know why. We've tried probably 50 King Kong / Godzillas, and they all just seem to melt away. But I do have a fake Doughboy that I like showing off. Little one right there. So, you got the real one, you got the fake. Two different ones. Or I think fake hasn't colored up like a giant one, so that's pretty cool. If you're just joining, we are going to start in about 5 to 10 minutes. Oh yeah, the Fruity Pebbles is over there. He's actually closing up a little bit because I kind of turned off the flow. Thank you guys for sharing. Oh, whoa. Oh, we're back. Okay. I got my live on my iPad now, so I can kind of see what you guys see. So that's going to be pretty fun. Other updates. Not too many other updates than that. Just going to regular old reef base, eat, sleep, reef, pretty much. If you're just joining, we are going to start in about 4 to 9 minutes. Just want to give everyone some time to join. If you're looking for anything or want to see anything before we start this auctions, feel free to let me know. Just going to be walking around talking about the tanks. Yeah, we ended up mushrooms. Yeah. Our hobbits are actually looking pretty cool. I don't want to go too close because I noticed from last live, if I go too close, it's kind of going to mess up. We have our two little hobbits, have our biohazard healing up right there. We have this big old green guy, excuse the tank. And then, of course, our little tequila sunrises and green redactus are healing up. I didn't cut the Recordias just because I didn't want to deal with the wait time on those. And, of course, the OGs are taking their time. We got some St. Thomas coloring up. I think Mushroom Live. Mushroom. Yeah, other than that, the CK Freak shows are doing pretty good. I think some of them are trying to pop off some babies, so they're shrinking up. Same with the Dragon Ladies. Other than that, it's pretty much mostly all the mushrooms. Oh, the Magic Carpets are looking great, though. So these guys should be ready in like a week or two. You can see they're kind of healing up their half still. Same with the Sunkiss. Those guys are healing up pretty good. Then we have some Mellow Yellows and Raunchy Reds in the corner. Those guys are doing pretty good. If you're just joining, we are going to start in about, it just hit 3, so about 2 to 5 minutes. Rainbow plates, yeah, we have a couple of those rainbow plates still available. They are about $150 each. We actually gave one away on the last live. He's chilling right here. He's fully open now. I wish he was open during the other live, but this one is pretty cool. You can see them all right there. And we actually cut up one of those, I guess, flame Dioceras. So there we have 4 little chunks right there. Great to see how those guys do. Want to wait for that. Another giveaway that would be for another live. This one is primarily auction focused. Auction focused, so we can figure out these together. This is gonna be our first time trying these. But yeah, we have some mushrooms, phobias, chalices. Pretty much can auction all of those guys off and see how it goes. So you should be able to snag some deals. I think I already preloaded them, so I don't have to. Oh, that's cool. You could just press start auction. Okay, so that helps. Other than that, yeah, I think there's not too many more updates than that. It's been only, Friday, so pretty much like 1-2 days before we last talked. So that's pretty cool. Let me try put this back on the tripod since it is getting a little closer to time and I am running out of things to talk about. Let me just... Okay. I think my phone's not going to fall. If it falls, well, I hope it's waterproof. Alright, welcome in everyone. We are going to be starting shortly. That is a pretty good area to test it. What should I put it? Alright, so welcome in everyone. We are going to be starting this up. We are going to be starting off with the first row right here. Those should be the $1 auctions. Let me just try position my camera a little better so it's easier to see. Now I don't have to worry about looking because my iPad's right with me. But I do have to worry about this tripod. How many times a week you will go live? To be honest, at the moment, we're trying to schedule for about at least once a week. Depending on what we're doing, we have a lot of stuff planned, a lot of tank moves, or not tank moves, but a lot of tank work. So that is affecting it. If I turn my tripod this way, should be able to see this easy. Okay. Should be able to scoot back. If I can focus on number 1. Oh, it's moving away. Where's that tightening bolt? I think it's still? I think it's still. Okay, now let me see. So to start the live, I think we gotta press start auction on one. So the first one's gonna be Easter egg chalice. I explained the care level a little bit last time, but I'll explain it a little again. For all our chalices, for the most part, they like the probably about the mid-range of the tank. Moderate flow, nothing too major. Definitely not acro flow level. But these guys do pretty good in low and high, medium. I think up to highlight, these guys are pretty good. Let's start the auction. I guess we'll do them a minute each. Optional settings. What is snipe mode? Oh, no, don't want to do that. Alright, let's start it off. That should work. Oh, little chime. Well, starting off number 1, for starting at $1, we got the Easter egg chalice. Again, these guys are pretty good beginner-friendly chalice. I don't want to hear myself. There we go. Feel free to bid on this guy. This one is pretty nice. They generally keep this color throughout their, entire growth. So they pretty much stay that purple base, gold eyes, no matter what. And then that one should end about. And then the shipping should be in the notes. Or a lot of stuff's in the notes. I think I pinned it to the top. So feel free to read that when you also get the chance. And if no one bids on any item, we are going to move on to the next. So we are good on that one. You can run it again. Oh, well, that's neat. All right, let's move on to the next one, which is going to be this green A-Can frag number 2. And I should be able to just press start auction, all right? Yes, start auction for a minute. There we go. So, starting the auction off, or not starting it off, the second one on the auction is going to be a green A-cam frag. These guys do probably like that lower part of the tank. Generally, they can do good with some feedings, although we don't personally feed them too much. We are going to start feeding them a little reef here and there, but just want to watch the nutrients on that aspect. I think my tripod stopped moving. But yeah, I think that's good. So we have about 25 seconds on this one before we move on to the next. I need to get like one of those iPad stands for the future so I can see what's going on. So Armando is currently winning. Got the $2. So that's why it's going up. Well, that's interesting. Congrats, Armando. It looks like you're about to win. Oh, no, Eric. Eric got it. Okay. Is that 3? Auctions is pretty easy. I thought this was going to be like 10 times harder than what it was. Well, congratulations. Oh, it does say it. Armando won. Congrats on your A-cam. Just push this number up so I can remember that. All right. Number 2. Oh, I forgot my towel. All right, let's move on a little bit up. We have a classic Miami Chalice. I do apologize. The puck of the light is right above my phone, so it is kind of shading it out. Let me find Miami Chalice. Start auction. 1 minute. Starting at $1. So, then again, these guys do like that moderate type of routine. Excuse me while I try to find where I put my towel. There it is. This is one of those little classics. It's kind of like an encrusting chalice per se. So these guys are pretty cool. Armando is currently winning. Let's see. Yeah, this is a type of encrusting chalice. I would say I guess the eye color kind of varies depending on the frag a little bit. Because out of probably 50 frags, I have a couple that have like a yellowish eye, but this one's they're all mostly pink. So that's pretty interesting. Another fun fact, I did get one of them to bounce, which was a crazy thing and actually amazed a lot of people. It was funny because it was one chalice that kind of grew into like a heart form, and then we ended up having a little bubble on it, and it stayed there for quite a while actually. So that was pretty cool. The bubble eventually went away, unfortunately, because I haven't really looked at it too much, but I don't know what caused it. It was pretty interesting to see. Let me see. We have about congrats congrats Armando for your next win, next W. All right, this one closed up a little bit, but this is a. Can my tripod reach that far? Number 4. Oh, I can reach that far. 1 second while I just extend it a little bit. Number 4 is a green Redactus. This is a very common, beginner-friendly, I guess, frag. This is one of the last $1 auctions, and then we're going to move up to the next. Let's start it for 60 seconds. My aquarium's at for sure. Well, the auction's the place for you. There's a lot of pieces here. A lot of chalices, favias, stuff like that. And I do have one blasto. So next up, now we currently are showing a $1, or should be $1, green Redactus. These guys can bounce. I guess in like high UV, usually I see them bounce when they're like a whole colony of them. You'll see like 1 or 2 getting a little greenish. I guess they're already green, like light green bubble. So these guys are pretty cool. Feel free to check it out. I should move my ladder a little bit away. My phone's shaking a little bit. But yeah, these guys definitely like that low part in the tank. So if you wanted to add some green mushrooms, try it out before you move into something like an OG bounce or a hobbit. definitely want to try one of the green redactus or like a Recordia. Congratulations on Mondo for winning the green redactus. Let's move on down to the Spider-Man chalice. One of my favorite chalices. I can't say favorite because there's a couple others. Number 5. We are now going to start the $20 a frag auction. 60 seconds? 60 seconds. So starting that off for 60 seconds, we got this one. Is a Spider-Man chalice. These guys do keep that kind of reddish blue tint throughout their whole growth. I do have a grown-out colony. This would have been so much better for Friday's lifestyle. But here's a little older colony. This one doesn't have too much blue, but you can kind of see how it streaks over with the blue and red. So these guys are pretty cool. They're more on the thinner side, I guess, on growth. So they do grow a little quicker than most other chalices. You don't want to drop that like that. So feel free to bid on these guys. Number 5 starting bid at $20. Yeah, should be stapled out. And after the live, if you guys want to see any other corals, feel free to let us know or message us, whichever one works. Whoa, almost dropped my phone. All right, let's move on to the next one, which is going to be the Pandemic Fabia. Pandemic Fabia, where is Pandemic Fabia? You are here. Start auction. How high can you make these? Oh, you can make them really high. Okay, no, there's a limit. There's a limit. Okay. Sorry about that. So starting off the next one is if I can get my tripod to stop moving, a Pandemic Fabia. These guys generally do best in the mid area of the tank, although they can tolerate a little higher light. So the Pandemic Fabia starting off at about $20. That should be pretty cool. If you're just joining in, all you have to do is bid, and it should, I guess, place you in the bidding section. We have a fair amount of pieces left. We're going all the way up to $50 auctions, which are going to be like rainbow chalices, nice little blasto, and a tequila sunrise. So if you want to stay tuned for that, feel free. And let's see, 10 seconds on this one before we move to the next. The next one is going to be from our main Mummy Eye Chalice colony. Not our Crayola colony, which we do have and get questions for. Although when I was taking a little close-up, this one has a couple little colors here and there. Let's see, Mummy Eye Chalice number 7, starting at $20. Let's go for another minute. Start it off. So these guys can tolerate, I guess, higher par. I'm experimenting with growing them under T5s to see if that does any better in growth or color. I notice under heavy LEDs, like blue-wise, they generally keep mostly color than growth. But under T5s, they definitely grow a little bit more, but they don't get those little green and, I guess, what are the colors this one have? Like a purple little streak in the... But Mummy Eye Chalice for $20 starting off. And we have about 20 seconds before we move on to the next one. Yeah, I think the next one is probably going to have a little bit more, variety. We'll have a lot more high-end corals on the next live. Just got to let everything heal up a bit. And it looks like that one ended, so we can move on to number 8. Number 8 is going to be the Ultron Fabia. These guys are always pretty cool. Let me start this off for 60 seconds. Or I'll just hold the tripod. So Ultron Fabia starting the bid off at $20. These guys would like I guess they can handle the low part of the tank. If you really wanted to know, like, par spec wise, I've had them in low as 50, and anything under that, they start to lose their little color. They start kind of doling out a little bit. So feel free to check this one out for $20, or unless someone outbids you. Yeah. And if you guys ever want to stop by too, we are available mostly. I think, the hours are posted on our page. If you wanted to know, it is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. We are located in Torrance, California. This one just ended, so now we can move on to number 9. Number 9 is going to be the Gold Recordia. Starting off at $20. So feel free to check out that one. You don't really see the golds too much, or at least I haven't seen golds too much. I mostly see either the oranges or the greens. But these are definitely one of those corals that would be recommended to beginners. I generally recommend Recordias as in like these guys, or Green Redactus when they want to start out. And then I move the next tier, I guess, is like Tequila Sunrises, and then following up that, you got your Magic Carpets and beyond. These guys are pretty cool. Shipping to Maine, we have a $55 flat rate shipping. We have it flat rate, so we don't have to worry about upcharging depending on the state or undercutting people. But it is $55 per box. And then free shipping for any order over $350. I think that option should be there. This one just ended. Move it back. For sure. Thank you for asking. Let me zoom back in. Next up for number 10, we got this Pink Eye Chalice. This one is I guess, kind of quick grower, considering how fast these frags kind of healed. This one will also start off at $20. Like all the other chalices I mentioned, these guys will be okay in that mid-tier range of the tank. They generally don't do too hot when you put them in super high par or super low par. Experimented with that and kind of lost a couple pieces. But number 10 for starting at $20. I guess could talk a little bit more about shipping. Shipping is a $55 flat rate. We don't ship to Hawaii or Alaska, but we generally cover most states in the United States. That's a lot of words, states. But other than that, we ship them in styrofoam boxes. We try to preserve as much water as we could. We generally avoid shipping when the temperatures are below below 40 degrees or above 80 degrees. Let me just move on to this one so I can continue yapping. So number 11, we do have a Goku Chalice. These guys are pretty cool, and it is a chunky little frag. So we'll start this one off at $20 and 60 seconds. What did I leave off on? Oh yeah, so we don't ship outside of those ranges just because we notice a very high DOA rate if you try doing so, even with heat packs or cold packs. But other than that, other reasons we may delay would probably be if the weather's like crazy, like if there's a thunderstorm coming in, there's most likely going to be a delay either at the airport or on transit. But we do package our corals, and a lot of them that have got delayed survived, so that's, I guess, a little bonus. Did I talk about that? No, I didn't talk about that. But other than that, I think the next one, I need to look around and really look. I think someone was asking about the Franks. So Frankensteins, those guys will most likely come in the coming weeks. Not an exact estimate yet, but they're definitely on their way. All right, this one just ended. Let's move on to the other Recordia. We have number 12. This is an orange Recordia from Florida. These guys are fully colored up now, so this is as bright as they're going to probably get. Maybe a little brighter. No, scratch that. That was about as bright as they'll get. It still amazes me how these guys are found in Florida when most of the corals are from Indo, which is kind of surprising, but kind of not, because they are kind of different species. So it's pretty cool. Something I was amazed about. These guys get really good. These are really photogenic as well when I use my camera. They're also pretty cool. So we'll let this one run its course before we move on to the next, which is going to be another little chalice. Oh, thank you. It was a little bit more effort, but I think it definitely helps out, especially if you want to look back and see what was on it, or if you wanted to see a little close-up picture. Really appreciate the feedback. It always helps out. Let's move to number 13. 13 is going to be this pink chalice. Let's start it off at 20 for 60 seconds. More 8 cans. We don't have another 8 cans for this option, but we do have a Blasto coming up, so feel free to stay on for that. Touching on the photo part, I did add photos because, as you can see, my phone doesn't really focus too much on them. It's just how the app is. I'm not sure if it's focusing or something. We did have a little issue with our first live where I was putting the phone so close that it kept switching lenses nonstop, and it was just a whole headache. But number 13 is a pink chalice starting at $20. The next one I think is like an Encanada chalice. If I'm correct. Yeah, I think it's chalice. So once this one's over, which is about to be, let's move on to this one. Yeah, I do have a lot of the beginner-friendly chalices, stuff like that. I have a couple more, but they're still healing, so I didn't want to put them in here. I didn't want to sell something that was still a little fresh cut. This one, I'm still on the fence. I was talking about it last live, but I can talk about it again. I'm assuming this is a chalice, although I am leaning a little bit more towards like an Encanada or like something like that. Just because the eyes are a little bigger than most chalices. But yeah, this guy is pretty cool. They do keep that little pattern throughout their... Okay, my phone's not going to fall. Throughout their growth. I would show my mother colony, but it's in like a farm tank in the back, and I kind of have to reach for it. We did give away a rainbow chalice on the last live, so the live sales generally do have giveaways. The auctions are mostly just for auctions. I try to keep it separate like that. But right here we have, I guess, the pattern chalice starting at $20 before we move on to the next one. I do have a nice chalice coming up if you already have it or don't have it. We'll talk a little bit about that when we get to it. Yeah, chalices are one of my favorite corals. Yeah, Encanadas can get aggressive. That's why I'm not sure if he is an Encanada or if he's a chalice. You get this one started. This one is a Favia of Gods. I'm not sure why it's called that, but it is most notable for its yellowish gold, I guess, base with its blue or teal eyes. So this one we are going to start off at $20 and then let this go up for a minute. My phone's not going to fall. Perfect. Let me see. I was looking for a chalice. There you are. So I do have these guys, but these take so long to grow up a little bit. But this one is one of my little projects. It's pretty cool to look at, and it's coloring up a lot more. I noticed these little dark spots end up turning into like a dark blue. which is pretty nice. Also, it does take up a lot of time, but don't have any frags of those guys yet, but they will be on a live in the future. So if you're just joining in, welcome, welcome. We are currently on the $20, $20 starting options, and then we're going to move up to $50, which we have some a little bit more fancier chalices, mushrooms, and blastos. Any ACANs tonight? We did show off one green ACAN. I can show a little bit more ACANs after this little batch right here, if you want to stay tuned to that. We are about number... Oh, this one ended. Okay. Don't want to hold up too much. Next one is a cupping chalice. If you don't already have it, it is honestly a must-have. I'll bring over the mother colony once I make sure my phone's not going to fall. This auction is going to start at 20. Okay, it's not going to fall. Ooh! I just see it just shaking. We grab this mother. I think another nice chalice is the convicts. Those guys are pretty cool. I do have one frag, but he's still small. But here, let me just move it a little bit more. Here's the mom. So they do grow in a little cup. Someone was saying a little tequila shot and then just drink it. But cupping chalice, pretty nice. One of my favorites for growth. Do I have to move my tripod back? Yeah, one moment. All right, I got this. Yeah, thank you. It is a really cool chalice. Let me just fix my tripod a little bit. I don't want my phone to fall in the water. I think that's a little too close up for a chalice. Yeah, cupping chalices are pretty cool. That frag is one of the best coloring ones. They do end up growing their cup. I sold off the one that already started growing its cup a little bit earlier. Let's move on to, I think that was the last of the 20s. We are now out of the 20s. Let's move on to the higher end stuff, which is the $50 and starting. So right here we have, one second while I find, let's start this rainbow chalice. It is a little bigger of a chunk. It already has a little bit of the red in it. Let's start it for 60 seconds. Where rainbow chalices is a bit of a fence, especially these ones. I think some people try to call them jelly beans or something. But rainbow chalices in general can handle up to high light. Like I see people growing probably like 400. Actually, no, there's one guy that grew it in 500 par. Like that was a lot of light. But I've seen them super low too. Oh yeah, for the cupping chalice, I would say mount it on the, I guess towards the top, like facing upwards, because it is going to grow in a cup. If you put it on the side, I'm not sure how that will work. It'll probably either try to grow a cup on one side, or just try like branch. I don't know how that will probably work. Oh yeah, an SPS tank. These guys stay generally pretty small, and they do take a while to grow up for a cup, just because you do have to keep in mind that is a lot of energy to grow upwards. Yeah, I think the biggest colony I've seen, the diameter-wise from the top, it was about 4 inches, and that took them about like 2 years. 1 to 2 years, so that's pretty interesting. Let's move on to the next one, which this one is a little bit closed up, but it is a tequila sunrise. So if you're already tired of the beginner stuff and you want something a little bit more mid-tier, this is definitely one you would want to try. Tequila sunrise is starting at $25. The ones I have do bounce. I kind of fried out all the other ones right now, so I can't show any small ones. But let me see if I can grab. Yeah, the mother still has some bounce on it. Water level's not too low. Let me squeeze through here. But yeah, that's the mother colony. So you can see it does have some little bounces. So that's why it is Tequila Sunrise balance. They'll like that little low part of the tank. They generally don't want to be too high. So I notice when I have them in anything higher than 150, they start to try and crawl under the rack and hide. So generally keep those guys probably mid to low range. Right. Once that's over, it gets over. Let's move on to the little nice Blasto. Should settle. Why is it falling right here? I don't know why my tripod keeps trying to fall. Alright, this is the yellow center Blasto. It's going to start at 50 for 60 seconds. Blastos, definitely want to put them on the low part of the tank. They don't like too high light, just in my experience in general. Just don't put them in too high light. Other than that, they're pretty easy to care for. Of course, make sure the tank is pretty stable, stuff like that. Parameters aren't fluctuating. Things would be good. But if you see anything or want to see anything else out of the options, you definitely send that message. I think we're already going to start looking at 8 cans after this. So we do have that. I do have a couple other 8 cans. This one has 10 seconds left before we move on to the last auction item. There we go. Scoop this up. Can I just stay right there? 1 second. I'm just fixing this. There we go. Yeah, I can show off some torches after this one, which should just last a minute. This one is our regular bounce chalice. We'll start this guy off at $50. There we go. Yeah. So bounce chalices, they do get that little bounce. This one is not from our main mother, but they have. Actually, the main mother has started out like that and grew bubbles. Although I haven't had this frag long enough to try that out. They do get a kind of blue streak later on, although it changes depending on the frag. So do keep that in mind. So after this one, we're going to take a little look at some of our A cans and torches. I think that was all the requests we got. Oh yeah, the green. It does add a little bit of green. I would have put this one on, but it's kind of still healing. It's this is from our main colony, so they kind of get that blue, a little bit of purple, and the green. But those are from our main one. It is still healing up, so it probably won't be ready for at least a couple of days. They do come in, I think someone had a pink one, although that one hasn't showed off pretty much. Alright, that one's finished, so we have finished the auctions. Now we're just going to go around the farm and take a look. How to turn off the pump. Let me get my phone from my tripod so I don't accidentally drop it in the water below. It's free. Yeah, that one, or if you want it, just message us and we can work something out. But that one is pretty cool. We only have 2 frags that are like that, so that's another thing. I think I'm zooming in too much, right? Yeah. So these are all of our 8 cans. Pretty much a little 8-can Blasto farm. Of course, with some Conthos, Scolies, Senorinas, Lobos, Wilsonized, stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Pricing wise, our 8 cans are usually about these sizes, or probably this little 3 rows, go for about $20 a frag. Then we have these rows that go for about $40. Jumping over to here, starting from this 8 can, we go up to $60 a head, or not head, a frag. And then we have some other $60 right here. And these guys are rainbows, so they kind of go up to about $200. And then we have some Blastos healing up right here. pretty cool. And there's also Acan Maxima, which those are regular Acans, and these are Acan Maxima. These guys are usually solitary, as in terms of polyps, so it's like one polyp per thing. And then we do have some nice little Blastos cooking up right here and there. Appreciate it. Thank you. But if you see any Acans you like, feel free to take a screenshot or let us know in the comments or after the live, and we can get that sorted out for you. Or if you want to pick them up and see them in person, you can always just shoot us a message. Let me drop back down. All right, torches. Do I have Mobius on my iPad? I do not have Mobius, so I can't show off the colors since I do run a wider spectrum. Let me just grab my little viewer then. Pass through all of our tanks. So torch pricing is generally about 100 a head, depending on what it is. For Holy Guacs, which we've sold a couple. Let me see. Holy Guacs, these guys are pretty gold and grow pretty quick. Oh, no, don't bite my finger. Back off. He was biting me all last live. Holy Guacs are about 100 a head. So if you wanted one of those, you can feel free to let us know. We also have Rapunzels, which they kind of are this little purple tip, gold tentacle torch. These guys are pretty cool. I think my Stripey's looking for Aptasia. I haven't had Aptasia in the tank for a while. Then, of course, we have these little New York Knicks. These guys I can probably do about 60 a head for. And then let's see, other torches. We do have Holy Grails. These go for about 150 and up, depending on the size of them. Excuse you. Thank you. Then we do have some Tigers that closed up, but those guys are about 250 a head. Other than that, we do have some torches in grow out, such as our little glitter torch that's usually best under blue light. And I think that wraps it up for torches. But that is our main display, our LPS tank. They are grown under Radions and T5s. Mostly Radions, because the T5s are only here for about 2 hours. But that was today's auction. We sold off a little summary. We sold off some $1 frags. Starting off at $1, we did some $20, and then we did a row of $50 frags. If you see anything outside of the auctions and you want to know, a lot of people do message us for magic carpets. So if you want one of those when they're healed up, feel free to shoot us a message. And if you see any Acans, meats, like Acanthos, Senorinas, stuff like that, we do stock this tank up pretty quick. Of course, torches and stuff, you just let us know. Anemones, unfortunately, I can't get anemones because the clown won't let me. Other than that, we do have some OGs cooking up. They are first come, first served kind of basis. So just shoot us a message and we'll just let you know which one. SPS? Where's my SPS? SPS, we're trying to get into SPS a little bit. We have some beginner Millioporas. Actually, where's my little sticks? Where's my other stick? Oh, it's over there. So SPS, we have our Millioporas that generally go for about $20 a frag. And then we have these guys that go up to about $40 a frag. And then we have this guy that goes up to probably about $80 because it is kind of a little big chunk. And then we do take requests. We only have one other colony, which is like a kind of hairy yellowish green colony where I think my cardinal's hiding behind it. But those guys are about $40 for about a 1-inch frag. Other things considered SPS would be Montes and stuff like that. So we do have a fair amount of Montioporas. But yeah, I think the other corals. Oh yeah, we do have some rainbow fungia still. So if you are interested in those, or you're interested in the little, I guess, flame guys in the back, you can let us know in messages. There should be a little quick message button. If you want to keep up and follow through with more lives, we do post we do get a lot of corals, mostly each week. So feel free to stay tuned and click the follow. But other than that, I think that kind of wraps up today's little auction session. And I appreciate you guys watching and have a fantastic day. Get my But well, there's the after party.